Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. Today we're just kind of wrapping up the week with breeding and the pairs. I have to check to see if all the males and females are done for the week, and I'm going to put the males away. And spot cleaning, and I'm running out of substrate, as you can see here in my bin. So I'm going to show you guys how I mix that up real quick. It's really easy. I use Reptichip. And I'm also the authorized reseller of Reptichip in PA for the online arena. So if any of you guys live in Pennsylvania and you need Reptichip, shoot out an email to me at blindstrikeexotics@gmail.com or find me on Facebook or comment below and we can get in touch and I can get you some Reptichip. Let's cut to, I'll show you guys how I actually mix it up and get it ready to put into the ball python. Alright, it's a very simple process. Really just, cut your Reptichip open on top. And then you want to pull out the paper. I use one of these big Sterilite containers to mix it up in and keep it in. This is a 64 quart tub. It fits one brick of Reptichip almost perfectly. So you put the brick in there so you don't get water all over the place. I have this, what is this? It's like a 2-pound protein powder thing, old container that I just fill up with extremely hot water, maybe halfway. I don't know, maybe it's a gallon of water or so. And you just pour it slowly over the top. Maybe about half the water. And if you can see in the bottom of the bag, it starts slowly soaking up into the brick. Once that's done, or close to being done soaking it up there, what I'll do is sort of flip it on its side and then pour some of the water down on one side, the one top flat side, slowly lay it down in there, let it soak up a little more on the bottom side of the brick. Let that sit for a couple seconds and then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. What you're trying to do is trying to get that hot water to soak in there on all sides as evenly as you can, because typically the brick will still be kind of dry in the middle even if you let it sit here for a while. And you don't want to put too much water in there because it's gonna make the coconut chips way too wet. The ball pythons only need about 60% humidity, and if these are soaking wet when you put them into your enclosure, your humidity is gonna be way too high, and it also kind of promotes moldiness. This stuff is pretty mold free, but I have noticed that when a ball python knocks over a bowl of water and I leave the chips in there a little too long, they do start growing a little bit of mold. Not a lot, it's not real bad, but you don't want it to be too wet. So you need to kind of find a happy medium. You let this soak in, and then now that it's had a chance to soak in all around, you kind of just, I cut it out, take the plastic off, and you can start kind of, the outside layers of it start kind of falling off pretty easy. And I usually try to break off the outside layers that are a little more wet, and then I try to just sit that directly on top of the rest of the brick that isn't falling apart yet. And then typically what I do is I just put the lid back on the container and let it sit there for a little bit. It's all that water, humidity is gonna kind of just sit in there and help kind of make it breathe. And maybe in a half hour or so, I'll come back and just start breaking it up. You can break it up by hand. I don't need to use any tools. Like I said, the outside sort of crumbles off. The inside is usually still a little more dry, but once I get it all broken up into little pieces, I just mix it all together to try to get everything to kind of be an even amount of moisture. Usually you end up, the stuff on the bottom of the tub is going to be a little more wet. but once you mix everything together, usually it's pretty even. And this helps keep the humidity in. If you're in a really dry area, if you're in the desert, you'll probably need to put a little more water in there to keep your humidity up in the cage. But for me, because of my natural gas heater, it makes humidity in my basement. So the humidity in this room is usually 50% anyways. So I don't need this stuff to be super wet. So just a little bit of water in mine, but your water may differ depending on if you live in a subtropical area down south. It probably doesn't need to be very wet at all, but if you live somewhere that has very low humidity, it may need to be a little more wet. So just adjust it for whatever works best for you. All right, now we're gonna go through and start pulling out our males. This week, I put Denki King back in here with Annie twice because they were locked up pretty good. They're not locked up now, so he's done for the week. So I'm just gonna pull him out and put him back in his tub and give him some couple days to rest. He has not been eating a whole lot recently, so I don't know if he'll eat or not. Usually males go off of food too. So he'll get in there, got some fresh water, fresh bedding, and then I'll move his tag up. Let's see, all right, and who we got next? Tesla, I'm very happy about. He started hooking up with the special lesser GHI female quite a few times. This is the first time they locked up. With these guys, they're both Blue Eye Lucy's. He's a Purple Passion. She's a special lesser. Out of this combo, I'm really hoping that I don't get too many all-white snakes. I'm hoping I get some crystals, which is special in Mojave because he's Mojave and Phantom. So I'm hoping I don't get any white snakes because he has leopard and blackhead and she has GHI. So if I could get some of the Blue Eye Lucy's that have a little more color like he does and they're not all washed out in white, I'm really curious to see what adding GHI and blackhead and leopard together all do. So that's what I'm hoping for there. Let me get him. Put him back in his tub. He's one of my guys. He's one of my little smaller males, so he still has a hide in here. He still likes going in there, so I leave a hide in there for him just so he feels comfortable. She just shed too, so I was actually surprised that they locked up this week. All right, get his tag. His tag over there. All right, so my ivory leopard male. Oh, they're still locked up. This is my Mojave Enchi yellow belly. I think she's yellow belly, so I'm just trying to prove out that she is yellow belly. Get some more ivories out of this combo. So they're locked up, so I'm leaving them be. They weren't locked up last night when I looked, but they are now, so I guess I can't take them out. Let's see. All right, my Ultramel combos are done for the day. They did lock up this week right there, so that's good. I got a lock out of them. They've been locking up pretty consistently, so hopefully it stays that way. And they have some Ultramel babies for me. Everybody get in there. I think I need to get him some more Reptichip in there too. I was running out of Reptichip as I was cleaning the male's tubs, so I need to fill those back up. And the rest of my males are up here. Now my Super Enchi Ghost is, as you can see, the single most flighty snake I have. I literally can't even look at her without her flipping out, and I hate even opening the tub. They're actually locked up, so that's fantastic. So that's Big Puma, Super Enchi Ghost. So everything out of this combo is going to come out with Enchi, Het Ghost, and he is Enchi, Orange Dream, Leopard, and Pinstripe. So I'd like to hit his gene set, but with Super Enchi and Het Ghost would be awesome. This is the first time that I've found them locked up, so I just started pairing them last week, so I need to put a check mark on there. This is my Clown Leopard male and my Pinstripe Enchi female. They already did lock up, and it looks like they're done for the day. Typically, just kind of a general care thing, typically you change out all the substrate like once a month or whenever they shed, because usually when they shed, they poop. You know, her tub, she hasn't shed recently, but you start seeing like the little urates all over the place. You know, you spot clean as needed. Hers is starting to get a little more dirty than I would like, so she's probably just gonna get it. If she doesn't shed soon, I'm probably just gonna end up switching out her whole tub. You know, getting her all brand new substrate in there just to make sure that she's clean and healthy. So let me pull him out. He has, he's stuck in there. Come here, buddy. There we go. Woo! The top of this rack's so tall that, you know, it's like right at my roof, and I have the lights up here, but my head, I can't get into this rack without hitting my head on this I-beam, so I gotta be careful so I'm not busting my head. Alright, let's get him back from his tub. Yeah, he still has a hide in there too. He's actually one of the bigger ones, but he still likes his hide, so get him in there. And we'll get his tag. 8 males going, and you know, I fit 6 in there, and I have to shove 2 of the other ones up there. Next is Shredder. I just started pairing him up. I have X's on here, but I weren't actually pairing them. I think I just started pairing them up at the end of December, and so I've had 2 locks since then. I think they were locked last night. They're not locked now, so he's gonna be coming out of there because he needs a break. He's being paired up to 4 females since he's one of the more mature snakes I have. She's really pretty. She's just a pastel lesser, but she's really pretty. So out of this combo, you know, all of them are gonna be Mojave, since he's a super Mojave. He is a male maker, meaning any of the bananas that he has will be males, or I should say any of the males that he has out of his offspring will be banana. So really I'm looking for Mojave lesser, blue eye Lucy's, or you know, pastel Mojave bananas. All right, I gotta put a check mark up on his tag too. And this is Black Mask, my male with Oreo. My female, who's a super cinnamon pastel, which I believe they call Silver Bullet. He's a cinnamon GHI Mojave. And there she is. She's really cool. She looks like digitized patterns on her back. But we call her Oreo because she kind of looks like she's a little Oreo. I believe they were locked up last night when I got in here, but they're not now. Maybe you can hear her. She has like a little whistle when she breathes. I don't know if you can hear that. She's had it ever since she was, I mean, I've had her since she was a tiny little hatchling. She's had that ever since then, so I don't know. It just probably sounds like a breathing issue. She has a really small nose. Healthy as can be. Crushes food, look at her. Very cute. She is actually the only snake, the only ball python that I've had that has ever bitten me. Maybe back last year, 2020 in the summer, she decided to like bite like the meat of my hand, like right here, and wrap up on me. I must have had the scent of rats on me because she just bit and tried to coil up on me. So, you know, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's not like it's super painful, but you definitely don't want to be bit. And on top of that, she wasn't letting go because it wasn't like a defensive bite. She was actually trying to eat me. So I kind of had to wait for her to get unlatched and get her off. But they've been locking up. I just started, you know, pairing them up too because for some reason, Black Mask. What I'm really excited about is he has been locking up with this girl almost every single week. And if you saw my other video, my 5 favorite coolest snakes, she's number 1. My Sterling Lesser, they have been locking up pretty consistently. You know, which I'm happy about. But he's also being paired up to the sterling female, and I have not seen them lock up one time. And he's also being paired up to this black pastel female, and I've caught them locking up twice, but recently they've had nothing to do with each other. So I'm hoping that that turns out a little better. So that's it. I have 2 males that I didn't put back, and they're still locked up. And this girl right here, so you talk about, you know, being careful when you're opening some of these tubs. This girl almost bit me in the face yesterday. I pulled her tub open really fast. Look at her. She's already... Look at her. That is I'm ready to strike. And she actually ate this week too. So I don't know what her deal is right now. But what I do is give them a little tap on the head. And it kind of desensitizes them from, look, okay, no striking, no defensiveness. It kind of changes their brain to think about something different. If I would have put my hand in there, or my face would have been close to that tub, she absolutely would have bitten me. And it probably would have been defensive or just aggressive. It wouldn't have been a food drive necessarily. But now you see her going the other way, and she's hissing, but she's not gonna try to bite. So, you know, every once in a while you're gonna have snakes like that. This is not the first time she's done this. She has never bitten me, and once I've had her out of the tub, she has never shown aggressiveness. So, you know, if you have a snake who is just kind of like absolutely crazy when you open up their tubs, just give them a light little tap with a snake hook. And you want to have a snake hook, especially if you're breeding these guys, if you have multiple snakes, because you're going to run into a snake that does that. Just give them a couple little taps right on the back of their head, and it just kind of changes their thought process and what their mode is. So instead of being in that defensive or hungry mode, it changes them like to their inquisitive mode or their kind of retreat mode, and then they're usually safe to handle and get out of the tub. All right, and the last thing for today to show you is just the tegu cage. There's this little cave right here, and that's apparently his safe place because he has since excavated all of the dirt from inside of there and covered up the front of it is right there, and he covers up the front hole of it, so you can't see him. And he just, when he's ready to come out, he just like literally shoots out of that hole. He won't let me pick him up yet, which I'm okay with, but he has been taking food for me off the tongs. He's been eating crickets and what else did he eat? He ate some grasshoppers, and I tried to feed him cockroaches, little cockroaches, but he didn't like those. But the other thing that I'm doing in there, which people say works pretty well, is take a shirt that you've been wearing that's scented with your scent and put it in there so they get used to your smell. So I have a nice bright orange t-shirt in there that hopefully gets him more acclimated to my scent, because I want to make sure that he's very used to being handled and picked up and played with. So I don't want him, you know, being aggressive or too hard to train. Here's Dingo. We'll wrap up the show with him. He's just waking up for the morning. He's an early riser, and I'm pretty sure he's ready to eat too, so I need to feed him. He's a good guy. He's never been aggressive. He's never been super skittish ever since I had him. He's been a good eater too. I think I got him, he's maybe like 7 or 8 months old, and he's basically full grown. They grow super quick. They're obviously not huge lizards, but they're pretty. They're very, 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 very low maintenance. He still gets a little skittish when I'm playing with him, but he's a beautiful, beautiful skink. So that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed all the content. Got to show you a couple new things and a couple new techniques. So that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by, and please remember to like and subscribe. See ya.